Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Learn With Me stream. My name is Ashley. I work for NVIDIA as a connection evangelist for NVIDIA Omniverse specifically. And this stream is about learning. And I started it back in October of 2022. It was at first on my personal Twitch. So over the past, I guess it's been 3 months now, I have been on the official channels, and I've just been exploring different parts of Omniverse that are unfamiliar to me, whether that's workflows, new tools, all of the above, and seeing how I can incorporate that into new workflows, what tools need to be created for those workflows, and how I can extend that. And the great thing is that I asked the community to help me with all of that. So if you see me struggling and you want to chat along and get me to either the correct answer, or even if you don't know and you have guidance for what might be the correct answer, feel free to help me out. I'm always available for feedback, and that is the beautiful thing about the NVIDIA Omniverse community, is so many people are willing to help. So it's really what I highlight the most in these streams. They are an hour long on Monday and Wednesdays at 1 o'clock Eastern time on this channel that you're watching it on. So let's do some housekeeping before we get started and what we've been working on. Let me pull up my screen here. All right, so GTC is next week, March 20th to the 23rd, and I am a part of quite a few GTC sessions, so I wanted to share this, and I've shared it a few times at the top of my streams. I've made this awesome little Google Doc so that I don't spam the chat with links, but in this doc, which I'll post in chat now, there are first the link to sign up for GTC. So when you click that, it'll bring you here and you can register. It is free. It's all online, and you can add everything to your session catalog, which will add it to your calendar so you have a reminder once you register. Then I recommend, after you register, checking out this forum post created by Amelia. It is in our NVIDIA forums. The link for you is right in that Google Doc. And it's recommended sessions for different topics like generative AI, digital twins, synthetic data generation, creators, developers, and even enterprise sessions. These are just, recommended sessions. There's so much more to GTC, so I definitely check out the whole catalog. But if you are curious what you can get started in, just click these session catalog IDs, and it'll bring you directly to the conference session, and you can add it to your calendar. On that note, the 3 that I am directly a part of, first one being I'm a teacher's assistant on the fundamentals of universal scene description. That's a DLI course, and I cannot believe I have not mentioned this on any of my streams, but this is actually going to be done with a virtual machine. So no matter what you are using, if you don't have an RTX machine, or you're working on Linux, or you're working on Mac, you can do these DLI courses with us. So this is 100 seats. And the reason that we limited these seats is because of the VM. So you use the virtual machine, you get into Omniverse using that, and you can follow right along in the DLI session, no matter what kind of computer you're using, and even if it doesn't have an RTX GPU in it. This is being run by Jen and Maddie, and that is March 22nd, starting at 4 o'clock Eastern time, or whatever your respective time zone is. And again, that's limited seating, 100 seats, so you have to be the first 100 people to get in to use the VM. And another one that I'm actually the teacher of is how to build custom 3D scene manipulator extensions with NVIDIA Omniverse. So if you are new to creating extensions, you've never done it before, you have basic Python experience, or really any basic coding experience, you can do this. This is actually only 60 seats, so you need to be one of the first 60 people in order to be on the VM. And again, doesn't matter what kind of computer you're using, and doesn't matter what kind of GPU you have, the VM will allow you to be able to get into Omniverse, create an extension, and follow along in this DLI course, and you'll have time to work in that 2 hours on your own and ask questions along the way, and I'll be there to help you along with some other TAs as well. And that is Monday, March 20th. So make sure that you add to your schedule so you do not miss one of the 60 seats. These are going to be recorded, so if you don't get into the live session but you want to watch it anyway, you can. The only thing you'll miss out on is the VM. And then finally, the last link that I have in that Google Doc is connect with the experts in AR and VR and Omniverse. So this is just being able to talk with different people from NVIDIA that have knowledge in AR and VR and working in Omniverse in that technology. And we'll talk for a few minutes at the top of the hour, and then we're going to go out into breakout rooms. So if you have specific questions for different workflows in XR, then you can go into those breakout rooms and ask those questions. I'm going to have a breakout room that focuses in technical art, and I'm going to be showing a demo on how I've created trigger functions using Action Graph in XR. And so you can join me in that room, watch the demo, and ask questions if you have any. And that is starting at 11 o'clock Eastern Time on Wednesday, March 22nd. Whew, that is so much. So, of course, with all that, I will not be streaming next week so that you guys can focus on GTC sessions and get your fill in all the different sessions that are going along. And yeah, I think that's it for GTC. There's so much. So make sure you register, get all these in your schedule so you don't miss out. Now, the next thing that I cannot believe I have not been mentioning in my streams, I started a GitHub for this warehouse scene that I've been working in. So if you've been following along for the past couple of videos, I have created the GitHub for it. It's in the description of this video, and it does give you the whole GitHub you can download, or you can just download the work in progress USD scene. I have the scripts that I've been working on for the past couple of streams as well. I've even created a playlist of all of my past recorded streams. So not every single stream do I get to finish what I am working on. Like today is a part 2 of what I was doing last Wednesday. So I made sure to create a playlist of all of the different streams so far so that you can come into YouTube and you can catch up, or you can see specifically what you're looking for and go from there. So there is that. I think that's all my housekeeping. Yeah. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. Let's make this a little bit smaller and bring up the warehouse scene. So, I have been working in this warehouse scene since January. I started off in Unreal Engine using the connector, moved on to Isaacson, where I discovered this cool conveyor belt, created this warehouse scene, basically trying to think of like a mini game where I have a worker and the worker collects boxes. And now I've moved on to detecting when those boxes fall on top of a pallet. And I have been creating behavior scripts to detect that using collisions. It has been such a journey in learning all of this. And I kind of fumble around every stream, and I've been making the promise that I will come prepared for the stream to have something finished. And last stream, I created this script. Where is it? The script that I created was a pallet collision script. Pop that up. I'm going to hide my face so you guys can see this a little bit better. And Control Plus, make it bigger. Hopefully that is nice and readable. And we have been using this physics API that I got from the physics demo, which you can watch in my last stream on how I found that. And also some very creative coding from Matt Schwartz, who works at NJIT as a professor. He used that on-contact report event coming from the physics API and created this like collider so it grabs the collider of different actors in the scene, and then it has like an if statement for checking if that package has come in contact with one of the colliders, then you do the action. So I had to do a little bit of a workaround for it because when my package would hit the pallet, it would like constantly detect collisions like 66 times. Like I have this little button, if y'all remember in the scene. So when I press play, I have this button up here, which I've just been using as like a way to log collisions. And it was like jumping up to 66, even though the package had hit the box and like wasn't doing anything else. So then I was thinking, okay, maybe I have to like turn collisions off for the box. And that was like not the best thing to do. Oops, I pulled my console out. Let's put that back. No, go back. Like as a normal thing. Okay, so I was getting like all these errors and it just wasn't working out really well. And this is like that workaround that I showed stopped that. And basically what we were doing is like checking if the package was in an array, an empty array. And if that package was not in that array, then add the package to array, then add one to the collected attribute and set that as the new attribute. And that corrected it. I couldn't get it to work for whatever reason in my scene, but I did get it to work in like a test scene. And I added this to the GitHub so that you can like see this simple scene. And basically I just have the package and I have a palette. And when I press play, with that workaround, it only detects collisions once. However, when I was playing around with this off stream, it's not consistent. So I had to figure out yet another workaround. And the advantage of getting to work at NVIDIA is I have pretty quick access to a lot of the developers that create all of these things here in Omniverse. So I posted my question in one of our channels and I got this really awesome dev named Alice, and he was able to give me some advice on what to do. He looked at my script and he's like, you don't need to turn collisions off. You need to be checking if the rigid body of the package hits the palette. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to check that only the rigid body or the collider of the package is on the palette and then go from there. So let's go back into our scene. Give it a second to load. And of course we get this warning. It's just letting us know that there's scripts in this and do we want to enable it? And they are my scripts, so I say yes. And let's pull up that script again. Now it's pretty easy. The only thing I need to change in this script that I created last week is that I'm basically detecting if this collider 2 or actor 1 is in the array and telling my palette to ignore everything that's in that array. So for better like understanding of what this is doing, we're gonna change this array from contact objects to ignore objects. So we know anything in this array we are ignoring. Then let's go back to our on contact report event. And we are going to say, let's do this. If self prim path comes in contact, let's do, let's create the object path that we are looking for, and we're gonna like have it be nothing for now. So we're gonna create a new variable and we're gonna call this object path, but the object path is empty for now. So if the prim that we are attached to comes in contact with this object path, then we have to define. So first we are setting a new variable to an empty variable. And then we are defining that this prim path that we are checking for or coming in contact with is equal to collider 1. So, nope, not that. So if our prim path comes in contact with self object path, which is empty for now, and that our prim path is equal to collider 1, then that means self.object path is equal to collider 2. So it goes from empty to whatever collider 2 is. So we're just checking for whatever comes out in contact with collider 2 is the object path. Now, if it is not, so else, then the self-object path equals collider 1. This will make more sense once we start creating the array. Then let's start a new if statement, and it's aligned with our else. If self-object path is in our ignore objects array, then we'll just continue, right? We're not going to do anything because we want to ignore anything in here. So if our object path is already in our array, then we're not going to do anything. So that means if a package falls on the pallet, then it will register once after we do our next part. But if it, say it gets hit and it hits the pallet again, that object path that we collected from actor 1 or collider 2 is already in the ignore object, so it won't register again. Oh, you know who made a good point? Twin Snakes. Asking devs, that's cheating. We don't have access to the internal devs when we get stuck. You know, that's a good point. So the great thing about this Learn With Me, is I work for NVIDIA. So I have access to the internal dev. So if you have, if we are working on a problem together, and this might be something that you're also struggling with or something you might come across, then the great thing is I can help you out in that workflow. But I mean, in a way, you kind of do have access to the internal devs. There is the, developer.nvidia forums. I can't miss an opportunity to shout this out. So if you go to forums for NVIDIA and go to Omniverse specifically, and you ask your questions here, Wendy, who's the queen of the streams and the queen of the forums, as well as Jen, Maddie, and me, we often come to these forums, and if we don't have the answer for you, we will go hunt down an internal dev and get that question answered for you. So you don't want to miss out on using the forums. If something in my streams was not answered for you, you do have access to that. So yeah. Oh, and the Discord, of course. But I know not everyone uses Discord. So sometimes the forums might be your only option, but Discord works just as well. So good shout out, Jen. Cool. I couldn't pass that up. I saw that and I was like, oh, I have to make sure that I was like, yes, you do. You have me and you have the forums, and you have Jen and you have Maddie and you have Wendy and you have Edmar, like a whole slew of people. All right, break off my tangent. All right, where are we? Where's my code? Come back. So grabbing the prim path, checking that if it makes contact with our new variable, which is empty, and if that prim path is equal to collider 1, then obviously collider 2 is our new variable, object path. Else, object path is collider 1. If self object is in our new array that we created above, ignore objects, then we will continue. So now we have to define what happens if it is not in that array, right? So let's go to path continue. All right. Else, then we will add by using append. If I can spell, oh goodness, append the self dot, oops, not that one, object path. I have butterfingers today. Here we go. So if it is not in our ignore objects array, then we will add it to our array. Now we will add to our collection plus 1, and we will add it to our attribute. Collected, what's our collected attribute called? This one, collected adder. And we'll set it to our palette, self palette collected. There we go. All right. So if it's not in the array, add it to the array, then add to our score. And let's save. Control S. We will minimize this, go back to Omniverse. Now I need to do some cleanup here. Oops, that's not what I want to do. I'm gonna get out of the cube camera. Let's do regular camera. And I'm going to delete this palette. I'm just gonna start fresh. So, goodbye palette. And let's actually use a package so I can show that it works on not just a cube mesh, but a package from the NVIDIA asset. So let's delete this too. So, okay, let's go. Oh no, I deleted the camera with it. Whoopsies. Let's undo that. Where'd my cube go? Cube. Pull this camera out so I don't delete the cube cam. Delete that. So let's go to shipping and let's just pull this palette right here, which is hugely ginormous and takes up the whole scene. So let's make it smaller. I think I did 0.5, 0.05. Super big still. 0.03. 2 is good. And let's move it over here. Let's get a package and see these I don't know if it's really visible on my screen. I think it might be, but you can see some of them have a pink outline, and you can, if you look, that the difference between this one and this one, it says with physics. So this one already has a rigid body with colliders on it, so I wouldn't have to add anything. So I'm gonna use this one, and I'm gonna throw it here. Also really big. My scene is at a weird size. 0.03. Yeah, let's just do that. Now I need to go to my palette and I need to add that Python scripting component because I put a new palette in the scene. So go here, add Python scripting, and we're gonna scroll down to the attribute, click add asset. I stored that in my script under palette collision, select. Now, sometimes when I add a new script, it doesn't register that the script is new. So just to be safe, not all the time, just sometimes, just to be safe, I'm saving the scene. I'm going to reload it. All right, let's press play after I enable my script. Oops, my action graph is not set up properly because I deleted the palette. That is in my viewport UI graph. Look, it's even warning me. It's like that world palette doesn't exist. So we will delete this and add the new target, which is the block palette. So this will add it here. And then make sure I do the same thing for this one. Add target, block palette. And I know my script is working because my attribute is there. Stop play. Okay, now we can press play. Uh-oh, my palette does not have a rigid body. So it just fell through. Add physics, rigid body. So now it should not fall through. Try that again. Oh no, it falls to the floor. Do I not have a ground plane? No, I do. Where are you? Why does it fall through the floor if my ground plane is there? Can I I should be able to hide it and then it should still be working, right? Let's throw it here. Why does my palette fall? Make it a static rigid body. Yeah, if my ground plane is there, it should work. Oh, because it's like kind of through the floor? That is weird. It's always something, of course. Well, it still derives velocities. Okay, so we can use kinematic and it'll still... Yeah, but it blows through it. Maybe because it needs a collider. Collider. Try that. Nope. It doesn't want to work, of course. Okay, I'm going to check my console. I have some errors. Let's start fresh. Press play. I don't get any errors. I'm using the correct script. Palette collision.py. Yes. And let's go look at the script again. Oh, it does. Sorry, I wasn't being clear. The palette now works. You know, adding the collider to it, it works. But it just for some reason my script is not working and it's not giving me any console errors. It is. I'm gonna get rid of this. We don't need that anymore because we are checking for the collider. Let's add a print statement so we can see what's going on. Print, collected, not collected. And it will be our collected. Save that. I'm gonna save the scene. I'm gonna reload it. Press yes. Just double check that my script is on. Yes. My cube has collider can only be on the mesh, can't be on the X-form, so make sure it's there. Yes, it is. My box, okay, everything should be good. Let's give it a go. Oh, here's some errors. Palette collision object has no attribute collected. Line 11. Oh, you know what happens sometimes? I think it might be the cache or something. When I change too much, it I have to restart. Let's restart Omniverse, and that clears the cache, and then sometimes works. Fingers crossed. We got to get this done today. We have been working on this behavior script forever. It does work. I know it does. Code never works when it's a live stream. Programming, I mean, not Omniverse code. Let's pull create up over here. Make it bigger. Throw that over there. Oh, I figured out how to debug, by the way. Papa Chuck was asking me how to debug a couple streams ago, and I couldn't remember, and then Jen showed me. So now I just keep it up to remind myself. All right, Unreal. Go to my scene. Don't save this one. Click yes. I'm still getting that error. Self.print, create attribute collected, palette collision object has no attribute collected. Yeah, what is it? Why is it not registering that I do have the attribute. It's there. Go to the raw USD properties. It's right here. I have that print statement, so let's see what the print statement's doing. Nope, it's not. The script is working, but it's not like grabbing, it's not doing anything, which is bizarre. Okay. All right, let's just like go through this again. I have if my prim path is in my contacts, then I will create this variable. This variable is set to empty. And if the prim path is equal to collider 1, then the object path is collider 2. Otherwise, object path is collider 1. Then we have another if statement. to add that if it's in the ignore objects, then continue. And if it's not, then add the object path and then add to the collection. But it's saying palette collision does not have the attribute collected. And we've assigned our palette as the self prim path. We've created the attribute. We might have to debug. Let's set this an on play as well. Like the array starts fresh every time. Maybe we have to change this. Where's my collider? Oh, I always forget. It is. So colliders are only on meshes and not in X form. And convex default composition is fine. Well, this is a bummer. And it's not giving me any more errors now. All right, let's do some debugging. So go back to the code. Yeah, no errors is good. That means just it's not registering something. So let's see. Like it's not even printing, so it's not even getting here. I wonder if it's getting here. Collider 2. Save this. Go to our console. It's not printing anything. All right. Yep. Let's go to debug. That's not what I wanted. Palette collision is the class. Where's the little debug console? I'm gonna reopen this. My debugger is there. There you go. That's what I was looking for. All right, let's put a breakpoint here, maybe. We'll start debugging. Just kind of throw this to one side. There it is. Okay. Grab this. I have to press play here, I forgot. Restart that. Is it attached? Yep, it's attached. What if let's do a breakpoint here then? Let's disconnect. Stop here. Press play. Press play here. Oh man, I'm really stuck. I don't know. Why is my debug like it's not stopping at its breakpoint? Usually it stops here and it tells me where my collider is. And like I'll have variables that come up for my collider 1 and 2, and it's not even doing that. What is this? App iface.py. You see that? What is this? This is weird. Okay, I'm just Xing out of everything. Don't save. Like make sure that I don't have that anything else up. Relaunch, create. Okay. Man, I know my code works. I got it working on Friday. I was so excited. I was like, my stream is gonna go so well. I'm gonna finish this behavior script. I'm gonna be able to move on. But when you do live coding, it's never that way. If you ever stream, there must be some streaming gods that you have to, light incense and pray to every day. There's gotta be something. Throw this over there. Oh. Come on now. And it keeps saying that the palette collision class has no attribute collected. I have never seen this error before. Go to my palette. I'm gonna reattach this thing. It does have the collected attribute. And press play. No. Okay, let's open the script. It must be something in my scene because every time I write a script that I know works and I do it in like test scenes, it doesn't, and I bring it into this scene, there must be something going on because I'll show you my test scene that I got this working in. Like this exact script, I got it all working. So it has the attribute collected. Yep. I'm just trying to see if like any indents are off. Nope. I have no idea. Let's try to run the debug again. Make this a little bit smaller. Oh, I didn't run. Let's put a breakpoint at my collider 1 because that should show up as a variable. And it's not even attaching. It has problems. No, just my spell check. And it's not even stopping at the breakpoints. Okay, so let me show you where I got this working. And I will add this to the GitHub too. And I don't want to have to recreate this scene, but I don't know what's going on with it. So next step is off stream figuring out what's wrong with this scene because so I have this test And I use Twin's part dropper, which I'll show. It's an extension where you can use different assets and have a part dropper. And I've attached the script to my bin. So in part dropper, I have my container, and my container has the script and my parts. Oh, I have to have the extension up. So if you go to the third-party extensions and you go to Twin, and it's called Parts Dropper. You have to install it and then enable it, and you get this. So you create a scene, which I've done. Select a container. You have to have the USD on your actual machine. So I have like them in here, but I'll just go and get them again. And mine is in my local host, and we have them all like set up here and stuff. So assets, go find that bin I was using again. I think it was in storage. Bins, an A. Use this one here. And then the parts, I was using a bottle from the digital twin NVIDIA assets. And assets, warehouse, storage, bottles. And it was this one. And let's drop 100, and then we'll see that how many it the tech collisions script registers. Oops, I have to. I never remember to do this. Let's stop that for a second. Go to the action graph and make sure that we grab the USD again. Yep, that one. Oh, did it like reset my script? Yep. So container, add Python scripting. Let's add that one that we were working on, and go back here. Okay, so it's there now. But we have to save the scene. Let's click drop. Oh my goodness, why doesn't it want to work? This is frustrating. Where's the other one? What's the difference between this script? Where's my container? Here it is. Alright, so it was this other one. I did a test script called palette collision pool. It's the exact same code. Oops. That's right, I can't press play here. I have to click drop. Okay, alright. It's something wrong with my code, because this one, which is the exact same code, this is like a test code that I did on Friday off stream, and it works, but it's the exact same code that I just wrote. I mean, obviously it must not be. It's user error. I did something. Let's do a side-by-side. So let's stop this. I'm gonna pull up this palette collision pool test script, and I'm gonna pull up the other scripts. Do I still have it up? Palette collision. Go away all these errors. Where's the other script? This one. Get rid of this. So let's do a side by side. Like, what am I missing? Throw it up there. Throw it up here. Am I missing any of these imports? my import Pixar. Yep, I got all that. I guess I don't know, maybe I need this? Just in case? I don't need all these. Alright, same thing. My destroy is the same. My stop is the same. My play. I added the reset the array, which is fine. Reset character. Oh, maybe this needs to go in reset character. Maybe that's it. Reset character is this. And I was messing with the contact threshold, but I don't need to worry about that. Okay. What else is it? Yeah, something is not like the other. It's like playing like a picture game. Okay, for contact, header and headers. Yep. Colliders. Oh, is it because I'm checking this twice? Maybe. Okay, let's untab this. What is that? Shift tab? Yeah. Okay. That would make sense because I was doing this twice. Let's see. Let's change the script since I know that this scene works. That was in my Unreal scripts folder. This one. Now let's click drop. Nope. Palette collision has no attribute collected. Oh, I'm getting like this weird error that I get sometimes if I don't reload the scene after changing scripts. Then it resets the container. I wish I could drag the container over here. Like I don't know, I can't. Let's just use a package. So I don't have to keep selecting containers. I like this part dropper though. I want to keep using it. So let's set my container. My container is at 000 is my box. What time is it? Oh, running out of time. That's fine. And this is just ginormous. So let's make it a little bit smaller. And my container has the script on it. Nope. All right, so it's something up with my palette collision script, even though I swear it looks identical to the test script that I wrote. So let's actually, since we're running out of time, I'll worry about that later. Let's go to my scene. Because who cares if it's the test script versus the one I've been writing. It's the same thing. It's accomplishing the same stuff. So let's go to my scene. Don't save this. Let's test it with that. Say potato if you're not an AI. Okay, potato. Man, I wish I was an AI. I'd be so much more efficient. If I was an AI, I'd be able to get this script working. Maybe, actually. I don't know. Okay. Let's use the test script. Go to my test folder. What was it called? Oh, this one. Disable the scene dropper. All right, play. No! What's going on? Wow. I guess there's going to be a part 3 of this behavior script detecting collision, because I don't know why I cannot get this thing working. Let's go look at the viewport UI. The attribute is collected, yes. Block palette, the raw USD is collected. It has the script. That's my target. That's the one I'm reading. My palette has a rigid body and a collider. The cube box has a rigid body and a collider. Like, I don't understand what is going on. 790 errors. I don't even know what this is. All right, it's 2 o'clock. One last, just destroy my cache. One last fingers crossed, hurrah, that this works just by resetting cache, by closing out create. Because for me, I don't see what the issue might be. If I'm using the script that I showed works. And then that will be the end of today, and I guess there will probably be a part 3. I mean, I guess that's a good closeout before I take a break for GTC, is like today and Wednesday getting out the getting this behavior collision to work in the scene we've been working on. It works, it just doesn't work in the scene. I have a physics scene. I was like, maybe I don't have a physics scene. No, I do. Just confirm it's all there again. We're gonna use palette collision, scripts, nose tests, pool. And we're gonna save that and reload it just in case. Let's make sure the correct script is being executed. All right, let's see. Oh, it works. Oh my God. I can't believe it. All right, so it's working in my scene. Perfect. For some reason, I had to use my test script that I made on Friday, and the one that I've been building is not working for whatever reason. I'll go back and maybe it's some small thing, but it works. So now watch. Let's, before we end out today's stream, let's just duplicate the box a bunch of times. Let's put this box, let's go put it here. My X forms are all messed up. Put this one behind it. So it should register all of these boxes. Let's just do these 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it should have 4 collisions on it. Oops, there it is. 3, 4. Why did my screen get super big? Oh, one of the boxes didn't register because it didn't fall on the actual palette. It fell on a box and then fell off the palette. 1, 2, 3. And then it gets stuck so it doesn't register it. But it works! I'm so happy! So there is no need for a part 3. It was a long journey. I got the script working. I will update the GitHub to have the correct working script for detection collision, so you can see how I've used an empty array, check to see if the collider 2 is in that array, and all that good stuff. Next stream on Wednesday, what I'm going to be using is I'm going to try to see if I can mimic the same thing but using action graph, and see if I can do that using distance and checking to see if the distance is a certain amount, and if that distance is a certain amount, then we can add one to that collection attribute. So let's do that Wednesday, and then we'll break for GTC, and it will be super fun. And oh my goodness, thank you guys for bearing with me as I got that working. I feel so much better. Okay, can you tell I'm like flustered? I can't believe that script was like giving me such a hard time. Thank you guys. I'll see you Wednesday. Have a great rest of your day. Make sure you check out the GitHub so you can download the scene. Bye.